look at the first, before the first was the invocation. This is very beautiful. And Prabhupada has given us a very, very sweet purport so that we can meditate deeply on our relationship with Lord Shri Krishna and his holy names. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrind. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Canto 2, Chapter 1, Invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Synonym, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om, O my Lord, Namaha, my respectful obeisances unto you, Bhagavate, unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudevaya, unto Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Vasudevaya means to Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Since by chanting the name of Krishna, Vasudeva, one can achieve all the good results of charity, austerity, and penances. It is to be understood that by the chanting of this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the author or the speaker or any one of the readers of Srimad Bhagavatam is offering respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasure. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the principles of creation are described, and the first canto may be called creation. Similarly, in the second canto, the post-creation cosmic manifestation is described. The different planetary systems are described in the second canto as different parts of the universal body of the Lord. For this reason, the second canto may be called the cosmic manifestation. There are 10 chapters in the second canto, and in these 10 chapters, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam and the different symptoms of this purpose are narrated. The first chapter describes the glories of chanting, and it hints at the process by which the neophyte devotees may perform meditation on the universal form of the Lord. In the first verse, Sukadeva Goswami replies to the questions of Maharaj Parikshit, who asked him about one's duties at the point of death. Maharaj Parikshit was glad to receive Sukadeva Goswami, and he was proud of being a descendant of Arjun, the intimate friend of Krishna. Personally, he was very humble and meek, but he expressed his gladness that Lord Krishna was very kind to his grandfathers, the sons of Pandu, especially his own grandfather Arjun. And because Lord Krishna was always pleased with Maharaj Parikshit's family, at the verge of Maharaj Parikshit's death, Sukadeva Goswami was sent to help him in the process of self-realization. Maharaj Parikshit was a devotee of Lord Krishna from his childhood, so he had natural affection for Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami could understand his devotion. Therefore, he welcomed the questions about the king's duty, because the king hinted that worship of Lord Krishna is the ultimate function of every living entity. Sukadeva Goswami welcomed the suggestion and said, because you have raised questions about Krishna, your question is most glorious. The translation of the first verse is as follows. This is the invocation of the second canto, first chapter. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So here we see Srimad Bhagavatam is a beautiful story, and we should become like children where we should be very eager to hear the story. Bhagavatam, of course, is a very different story than normal stories, what we hear in mundane world. It's a very elevated, very advanced story. And sometimes, when we read stories to our children, even though it's meant for the children still ask questions. And then the parents are guides and they explain them in a way which children are to be explained. They can understand. So similarly here, Srimad Bhagavatam is being explained to us by Srila Prabhupada, by various acharyas, by even Srila Prabhupada's disciples, like His Grace Purijan Prabhu, His Holiness Swam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. They have written, commentaries on these wonderful, stories. The main difference between the normal stories, of course, in India we used to get the Panchatattva and Aesop's tales and all that. Bhagavatam is also got very wonderful messages, very deep messages. Bhagavatam is full of spiritual emotions, lessons to be learned. And for that, we have to become childlike. We have to have this childlike enthusiasm. Here in this purport, Prabhupada, this wonderful invocation, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We recite this almost every day. And Prabhupada explains to us the meaning. Yes, O my Lord, I'm paying my respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who? Vasudevaya, unto Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. And then in the purport, Prabhupada very beautifully says, yes, so much good comes out of just chanting this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, just by remembering the Lord. Prabhupada says that, yes, all the good results of charity, austerity, and penances one can achieve just by chanting this mantra. Now, we cannot understand this sometimes because we take it for granted. But no, this is true. When we constantly chant what is given to us, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, different prayers, when we constantly chant them, then slowly our heart gets cleared, our hearts get purified, and then we can understand, yes, this is the ultimate benefit for everyone. And Prabhupada says here, the author, the speaker, or any reader of Bhagavatam, will get the benefit by paying obeisances to the Supreme Lord Krishna. And then, of course, Prabhupada goes on to speak about some brief purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. As we know, in the 10th chapter of Bhagavatam, the last chapter of Bhagavatam, as Prabhupada says, the second canto has got the 10 chapters. And the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, Atra Sargo Visargascha, Sthanam Poshanam Utayah, Manmantare Ishanu Katha, Nirodho Muktir Ashrayah. So these 10 topics are discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. And what are these 10 topics? Atra Sarga. Sarga means the creation of the universe. Then Visarga, the sub-creation, the secondary creation. Sthanam, where exactly everything is situated, the planetary system. Poshanam. Poshanam means how you are protected, how everything is running properly. What is the mechanism, how the Lord protects everyone. Utaya. Utaya means the creative impetus. Brahma has got creative impetus. Then there are secondary creation. We all have got creative impetuses. Festivals are coming, and the decoration team, the garland team, the cooking team, everyone will be ready enthusiastically to create something unique for the pleasure of their lordships. Sthanam Poshanam Utayah. Utaya means creative impetus. Then Manmantara. Manmantara means the change of the Manus. Ishanu Katha, the science of God. Returning home. Nirodha Muktir, liberation. And Ashrayah, the Samambonam, the ultimate shelter. So these are the 10 topics described in Srimad Bhagavatam. The purpose also is given, of course, as we know, that in the, I think, 5th or the 6th chapter, Purusha Shukta confirmed, where, Brahmaji is speaking to Narad Muni and is saying that the purpose is, yes, that we have to understand that Krishna is the source and controller of the creation. And he is the Purusha. Purusha Sukta. So the Sukta is a Vedic hymn that describes the creation of the universe, and that the Purusha, Krishna, the three Vishnus, in the form of three Vishnus, he is the original cause of everything. So the Purusha Sukta prayers, they confirm, they portray that the universe is coming out of this original being, the original person, and this is our main foundational concept, that the creation just doesn't happen automatically, not like a Big Bang theory. There's no cause. No, there is a cause, and everything happens according to the cycle. So then these, in the second canto, the first three chapters, of course, as we know, what is described. The first chapter is the first step in God realization. So basically, it is, you can see the universal form of the Lord is described, and the yogis connect with different parts of the universal creation in their own ways. And in a way, you can say that this is the Brahma realization. The second chapter, as we've heard before, the Lord in the heart, that is the Paramatma realization. So the first one is Gyanis, the second one is Yogis. They are seeing the Lord in the heart. And of course, the third chapter, pure devotional service, the change in heart, that is describing the bhakta, the approach of the bhakta as to how, when we perform devotional service, our heart changes. Here we see Parikshit Maharaj is welcoming. In the first canto, we saw so many wonderful stories, so many people leaving their bodies. Bhishma Pitamaha is leaving. Parikshit Maharaj is just about to leave the body. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they are leaving the home, and then ultimately they leave their bodies. Pandavas are retiring timely, and then ultimately they leave. So this way, by leaving, they show how to love Krishna. By leaving, they show how to love Krishna. And here, Parikshit Maharaj, some deep emotions are coming up. We can understand Parikshit Maharaj, he's a fully self-controlled devotee. Bhagavad Gita, so many places Krishna explains the quality of a sthita pragya, a sthita dhira, someone who is a sober person, someone who is a self-controlled person. Parikshit Maharaj is one of them. But also here we can see how a pure devotee, he's thinking, he's feeling, and he's willing. How Parikshit Maharaj is thinking. He's thinking, okay, yes, even though I am a descendant of the Pandavas, but I have no qualification. He's expressing his humility. He's glorifying the Pandavas. And how is he feeling? Sukadeva Goswami, you have come. But again, you have come because of the arrangement of Krishna. This is how he feels. Not because you've heard the news of me passing away and because I'm such a great guy, you have come to speak to me. No. He's understanding that Krishna is behind that. And what is he willing? He's willing to ask a question which will benefit the entire humanity, not only then, but in times to come. So this way, we can see that with Krishna in the center, all the wonderful good qualities are exhibited here. Proper welcome and reception is given to a saintly person like Sukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj is feeling humbled. At the same time, he's feeling proud of devotees like Pandavas. And Parikshit Maharaj, even though self-controlled, is expressing emotions at the same time. And then he's asking very pertinent questions, very important question. So when we keep Krishna in the center, these things happen to us. But of course, there's a difference between us and Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee. He has his life experience. He's been saved by Krishna. He's ruled in entire Bharatvarsha. For us, even though we have come to Krishna consciousness, because we are in the baby step stages of Krishna consciousness, we have to also at the same time do some introspection. Introspection about the conditioning we have, introspection about the anarthas we have. This is very important in our daily lives. I don't know whether you've heard that class posted yesterday, Dying Before Dying. In that, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he says that we have to learn to die daily. Now, dying means getting away from, getting detached from. And when he says dying daily, that means today's meditation, today is Monday, 4th of August. Are we meditating on getting away from at least one of the anarthas? Are we meditating on getting away from one of the material desires? Are we meditating and getting detached from any of the deviations from our philosophy? So dying before dying, we have to do it every day. Why? Because we have this conditioning. We are not like Parikshit Maharaj. We want to fly high, but we have to be grounded. Otherwise, we'll be blown away. So Mahatma Prabhu, he wonderfully speaks about, yes, when we progress in bhakti, very practical steps he gives us. That when we are progressing in bhakti, we should be, of course, focusing our attention towards our spiritual practices, rising early, getting ready, wearing fresh clothes, chanting our rounds very attentively, and if we have deities, doing deity worship, offering everything to the Lord, what we honor as prasadam, reading Prabhupada's books. So these are spiritual practices we do every day. But at the same time, Mahatma Prabhu says, while the progress is happening in our spiritual life, we have to also look at our conditioning. We have anarthas, and one by one, we have to understand, because sometimes what happens, unbeknown to us, these anarthas, this conditioning is so strong that if our bhakti, progress in bhakti is not very strong, then these anarthas are going to eat away the bhakti. We have to be very aware, very careful, very introspective to understand that each one of us have these anarthas. Sometimes, our false ego, most times, not sometimes, I mean almost always, the false ego prevents us from thinking about our own anarthas. But then, as Bhakti Tirtha Swami says, die before dying. And he, in the beginning only of the class, he says, the whole process is hearing, understanding, and experiencing. Hearing, understanding, and experiencing. Now, that class was given, as we discussed yesterday, when he was on the verge of death. That was his last class. So he has heard many, many things. He's also understood from his life experience. And now he's experiencing death at a very close call, very, very near, very close. And that's why he's saying that when we hear, we have to understand, we have to really introspect, and we have to experience. And then he says very beautifully, he says, our progress depends on two things. Very important, please note down. Even though we've heard this 10,000 times before, but every moment we have to think about this. He says our progress depends on two things, our desires and our association. Our desires and our association. So this way, when we had posed this question on Saturday about, increasing our, maintaining, securing, increasing our standard of living and not the standard of life, these questions we have to always ask. Do I really need to spend time in doing this? Do I really need to spend time in buying this? And then when we analyze our spending of time, everyone analyzes spending of money. Where do I spend my money? But we rarely, even as devotees, think how to spend our time wisely. And as Viraj Prabhu very wonderfully said yesterday, you have to steal time. So when we steal time out of our material desires, our material association, and use that time wisely in Krishna consciousness, then progress happens. Then progress happens very quickly. So here Prabhupada also speaks about Parikshit Maharaj. He's Prabhupada is opening up the emotions of Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj is very glad to receive Sukdev Goswami. and he's also proud of being a descendant of Arjun. We see in the first canto, in the last chapter, Parishad Maharaj is also reflecting, and he's expressing that yes, by the will of Krishna you are here. Why? Because Krishna, due to my connection with the Pandavas, has accepted me as one of him, as one of his these relatives, and then he says, and otherwise, how it's possible that all the places Sukdev Goswami could have gone, he came here. Yes, Krishna inspired Sukdev Goswami, and that's why Parishad Maharaj says that you have voluntarily appeared here because you have been inspired by Lord Krishna. Sukdev Goswami, Parishad Maharaj admits that yes, you are moving incognito. You are just going everywhere. No one even knows you. Even just before entering this sabha here, the village women and the children were throwing dirt and mud and stones at you. No one is knowing who you are. But then, because you are inspired by Lord Krishna, you have appeared. For most people, you are invisible, but here you have made yourself visible to us. Why? Because we are on the verge of death. So this way, Parishad Maharaj knows that yes, Sukdev Goswami is here by the will of Krishna. So this is very wonderful canto, very wonderful chapter. Even though a lot of technical stuff is going to happen in the second canto, but as we know, by the end of first canto, as we were reflecting last couple of days, that our hearts have changed quite a bit, and our hearts should have changed a lot, right? And in the second canto, even though it's technical, a lot of the beautiful verses are given where Sukdev Goswami, Parishad Maharaj, they're saying, yes, this is what the end goal is. Ante Narayana Smriti. It's a very beautiful verse. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Abhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janma Labha Parapumsham Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante Narayana Smriti. That means at the end of the life, you have to remember the personality of Godhead, the highest perfection of human life. Yes, even if you know completely by matter or spirit, you have complete knowledge, by mystic power, by discharge of your duty, whichever way. But what is the highest perfection? Is Ante Narayana Smriti. At the end, we have to remember the personality of Godhead Krishna. And that's why we practice every day. We practice every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Again, in the second canto, the beautiful verse is there. Etan nirvidyamana nam ichtam akuto bhayam. Akuto bhayam, we are not afraid at all. The bhaya is leaving us. Yogi nam nirnitam harer namanu kirtanam. By just chanting of the holy name, what happens? This is says, yes, when we follow the great authorities of our parampara, when we follow after the ways of the great authorities and we constantly chant the holy name, what happens is, it is actually a doubtless and fearless way of success for everyone. Even people like us who have so many material desires, I am giving this lecture to everyone, but we've just moved home, and every day new and new requirements come up. Oh, we have to get this done, that done, this done, that done. So I am no one here to give a lecture to anyone. So I'm just speaking for my own purification here. That yes, even people who are have material desires, even people who are free from material desires, and even people who are self-satisfied because of the knowledge, because the spiritual knowledge they have. But what is the perfection of life? Constant chanting of the holy names after the ways of the great authorities. So this is very beautiful. We heard yesterday in the morning, Viraj Krishna Prabhu very nicely said, yes, it is not our process of chanting, it is a process of hearing. So we hear. Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions, Sukdev Goswami is speaking, and we are hearing. And what sort of questions are being given here? Only topics of Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj hints at intervention of Krishna in this whole story. As we heard, Bhagavatam is a story. Story is given of Bhishma Deva. Story is given of how the Lord is protecting Parikshit Maharaj from the Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama. The story of Vidura returning home and instructing Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. There's so many wonderful stories, so many wonderful messages, but everything has got Krishna in the center. All these stories have got Krishna in the center. Parikshit Maharaj is a wonderful devotee of the Lord, and Sukdev Goswami is understanding his devotion. And therefore, Sukdev Goswami is welcoming this wonderful question by Parikshit Maharaj. And yesterday, as again Viraj Krishna Prabhu very nicely in the evening, he spoke about the 6th canto, the story of Ajamil, where he says, we have to begin our spiritual life by chanting, and that is the ultimate reality. So in the beginning there's chanting, in the middle there's chanting, and the end there's chanting. Everything else, whatever else happens, we have festivals, we do decoration, we cook, we clean up, we serve the prasadam, whatever we do, but ultimately everything is for chanting. This morning I was chanting. Normally when I have to give class, thoughts come as to, okay, what I'm going to speak. And these thoughts come involuntarily. At the same time, I'm thinking I have to focus on my chanting. I have to hear the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So then I made a prayer. I stopped for some seconds and I made a prayer that, oh my Lord, oh holy name of Krishna, please allow me to please you through my chanting. So I'm chanting the holy names to please the holy names. And that was my reflection today. I have had this reflection before also when I have, the mind is going everywhere. So then I just request, I express that, yes, I want to please the holy name by chanting the holy name. And I want to be grateful that the holy name appears on my tongue, even though I'm one of the lowest of the lowly creatures. Here Parikshit Maharaj again, because he's asked about Krishna, Sukdev Goswami glorifies that. Because you have raised questions about Krishna, your question is most glorious. Your question is most glorious. So when we chant Hare Krishna every day, we chant. Andhra Prabhu has given a very beautiful reflection, his own realization. Of course, as we know, Andhra Prabhu was one of the purest devotees, and he had so much love for the holy name, and he's the one who started, maintained, and increased the 24-hour kirtan in the Krishna Balram Mandir. So please hear this meditation. It is going to help us in our chanting every day. It is going to help us in focusing on the holy names. Andhra Prabhu says very beautifully, he says, the holy name is the beautiful, sweetest of all sweetest cowherd boy. He is a beautiful blue cowherd boy, handsome and completely captivating to the heart. By the mercy of Hare, Srimati Radharani, our hearts have become undeniably, intensely enchanted by the sweetness of that little cowherd boy Krishna. And because we have become enchanted by him, and he's aware of that, naturally he won't leave us alone. This is Krishna promising all the time that I will not leave you. So because we have become enchanted, Krishna is aware of that and he won't leave us alone. Again and again and again, he pastures on our tongues by forcing his way into our consciousness, dancing on our tongues. We have seen this. Even after our chanting is finished, devotees keep on chanting. Whatever they're doing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, devotees, the Nama, Andhra Prabhu says that again and again and again, Krishna, in the form of his holy name, pastures on our tongues by forcing his way into our consciousness. So all we have to do is to allow Krishna to force himself into our consciousness, and then he's dancing on our tongues. And the Prabhu says, practically as if by involuntary motion. Now, Krishna is controlling everything, right? But he cannot control his own motion. How? He says, Nama Prabhu is appearing again and again on our tongues, as if by involuntary motion. He cannot control himself. And then he says, it is then very difficult for us to forget Nama, because again and again, Nama is appearing in our hearts and dancing on our tongues. So this is the stage we want to achieve, my dear devotees. Today, get rid of one of the anarthas, get rid of one of the deviations, get rid of one of the material desires, and just allow Krishna to enter into our consciousness, so that he dances on our tongues, and he comes again and again and again into our hearts and our emotions, into our thinking, feeling, and willing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Granth Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has any questions or comments or reflections? Please unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. I've got two questions. First question is, you said we should start focusing on detaching from our anarthas. So my question is, how do we actually detach from anarthas? Like, is it by focusing on detachment on the anarthas, or is it better to focus on something positive so that the anarthas are replaced?
So, as we know, there are 6 main enemies. The anarthas are there in various permutations and combinations. Some of them are prominent, and the ones which are prominent, we should act on them first. And practically, say someone is, has a habit of procrastinating, then we should work on that anartha. Okay, I have to do this, and especially spiritual activity, I have to start now, and the discipline has to be formed. So when you start, first of all, as everyone knows, that half the battle is to know the problem. So if we know the problem, it becomes easy to solve it. Most of the time, our false ego doesn't allow us to know that there's a problem. Sakhirai Das is a pure devotee, So, no anarthas, Prabhu. So if we know that this is the anartha we have, then it's easier to solve. And then practically we take steps, take some guidance from our spiritual authorities, take some guidance from Prabhupada's books, and, implement those decisions, small decisions into our lives. And then again, introspect after, Ekadashi, tomorrow is Ekadashi. So do some introspection. Okay, from tomorrow I'm going to do this. And next Ekadashi, I'm going to see whether this anartha has been a little bit taken care of. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We've got another second question. So you mentioned that our progress depends on two things, our desires and associations. So, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we had all sorts of material desires, which were somehow or the other, I think, are focusing around.
I have you now, Prabhu. Okay, before coming to.
Yes. So, like the desires were mostly around I and mine. It's all about I and mine. But what we see is, even coming to Krishna consciousness, we have desires of doing devotional service. We have desires of, as you were saying, practical examples of doing a particular service, or doing festivals, or doing service in a festival, or doing cooking, or whatever. But somehow or the other, sometimes we know ourselves that we are affected by the anarthas. The desires are tainted with the anarthas of I and mine. And sometimes we observe others are also somehow getting affected by it. So how should we deal it for ourselves, and how should we deal it for others when these anarthas are tainted in devotional desire? So you're appreciating the devotional aspect of it, but then you also have to deal with the material aspect for ourselves and for others as well.
So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, hard on yourself and soft on others. So as leaders, we have to be strict with our own sadhana, our own devotional service, but we have to be soft with the others, especially people who are new, and people who are helping us. We have always to appreciate even whatever little service they're doing. It becomes difficult when you're organizing, especially all of you organizing Janmashtami, a big festival, and you want everything to be pakka. nothing should go wrong. But of course, it's a material world, so something will go wrong. Some anxieties will happen. We just tolerate that and just move on. Not focus so much on these things, but focus more on the spiritual life. My spiritual master, he says, keep the thought of service in the front of mind and keep the weaknesses at the back of your mind. So yes, we are aware of these weaknesses, but at the same time, we are aware that these people are doing service and we should be appreciative of what they're doing. Overall scheme of things, we have, you all have wonderfully organized these festivals for so many years. So, like all glories to you, everyone is glorifying you. So we shouldn't be too much concerned about these small mistakes we make. Make sense?
Thank you, Prabhuji. That really helps. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else, anything?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for setting down my realizations. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such wonderful realizations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, so if no one has any other questions or comments, we hope you have a very wonderful devotional day. Krishna willing, we'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 6:30, to continue with the second canto. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.